If you're looking to decrease your no-show rate and improve your close rate, this is going to be a pretty important video for you, and that's probably going to be everybody who would say, I don't want to do these things. And it's not even going to be a long video either, just a few minutes, maybe 10 at the most, I think. And this topic is all about your pre-call flow. So your pre-call flow is extremely important in the sales process, and it takes place between, let's say you use Calendly, for example. It takes place between them booking a call with you on Calendly and the call actually occurring. So let's say it's Monday and they book the call for Thursday. The pre-call flow would be what happens Tuesday, Wednesday, before the call, that kind of stuff. So the pre-call flow is right here in the actual sales process. So a lot of the time they'll go to your website, they'll see your case studies, they'll see your video testimonials, your video sales letter, your video content, etc. They'll book a call, they'll get the pre-call flow, and then the sales call will take place. So there's two very important scenarios that can go on here, and it's so important to realize this because we have two scenarios, A versus B. We have the 1000x leads funnel versus the normal funnel, normal people, normal companies, whatever you want to call it. So who do you think is more likely to show up for a call? Someone who has seen a paid ad and downloaded a lead magnet and been to the thank you page and got all the email flows and maybe been in the group and read a couple newsletters and is contacted by an appointment setter and is watching some long form YouTube videos, or someone who does none of these things and just goes paid ad to a book a call? Who do you think is more likely to show up? It's obviously version A, and that is why the whole funnel is so important. It's not just one piece of it. If someone follows you on Instagram, it's downloaded a lead magnet, follows you on Twitter, watches your YouTube videos, follows you on TikTok and stuff on LinkedIn like that, has received your cold emails, has seen your paid ads and is on your email list and has gotten email flows from you and has watched your webinar or bought a product from you or read your newsletter or attended a live workshop or is in your group or your appointment setter has reached out or has watched long form YouTube content, they're immeasurably more likely to actually show up for the call. So this part of the pre-call flow has nothing to do with the pre-call flow. It's just you need to put them through the entire thing instead of just one at a time, or just instead of just going directly from paid ads to book a call, because this is what nurtures them. This is what builds your authority and gets them excited to talk to you. And then talking to you becomes a favor to them, not a favor to you. It's a completely different dynamic. And then the purpose of this, there's three purposes of the pre-call flow. Number one is to make it very clear what you do, because you'd be amazed, especially if you're going for the situation where you just go paid ads to book a call. Like, a lot of people don't even know what you do properly, and we can kind of mitigate that again by having the full funnel, but it's still a big problem. Number two is boost your own authority, and number three is reminding them to show up for the call. Like, these are the only purposes of the pre-call flow, but they're very important purposes. We got to make it crystal clear what we do so there's no confusion that just wastes our time. We can boost our authority with stuff like case studies, examples, testimonials in the pre-call flow. And then, of course, text message and email reminders to actually show up to the call, like, very important. So if we go into my Calendly here, here's mine. So basically what I do a couple of things. The first things I do have to do with my scheduling questions. Website URL. If URL is invalid, this will be automatically canceled. That's true. It will be, because I'm not going to waste my time with that. But it also, implies a little bit of frame. Like, instead of, oh my God, please talk to me, or what's your website URL? What is your current monthly revenue? If you're currently doing less than 10K a month, this is not a good fit. That's another thing to do, because it disqualifies people. I don't even want people to book a call if they're under 10K a month. It's just waste of time. They can't afford it. I don't want to deal with them even if they want to pay. 4K is just too much of their revenue, where they're going to probably be very annoying versus someone who's at 50K or 250K a month. The program costs 4K. It's meant to last 120 days and there are no payment plans. Are you okay with this? I'm not really playing games here or anything, and neither are you. If you run an agency, you can just tell them the price. If you have an agency, our services usually run between 4 and 8K per month. Are you okay with this type thing? And then another good one is, how familiar are you with our content and program on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, this is just good information, and it kind of dictates how the call will go. If they say 1, that'll be a lot different than if they say 10. And then if they say something in between, you can kind of do it like that. And then what would be an ideal outcome for you for this call? Why guess what their ideal outcome is when they just tell you? So those are the questions I ask. And this is very important here. After they confirm, after they book, they'll be redirected to my basically sales letter or offer document that will tell them about, the service. So we make it very clear what we do, and that's part of it. The second thing to do, and with this offer document, it also does a good job of boosting own authority, has some good information, has testimonials, has case studies, all of that kind of stuff. And the next thing we want to do, the final thing, is our reminders. I always do 24 hours before, 2 hours before, and then 15 minutes before, but you can mix these up. There's no real rhyme or reason for this. One could argue that you should do 30 minutes before, because 15 minutes, if they're doing something, that's not really enough, right? But these reminders are very important, and you can make it even better by adding the whatever offer doc you have inside the reminder to make it clear what you do, to boost your own authority, and to remind them kind of all in one. And if you send them 3 times before, 24 hours before, you could do 4 hours before, you could do 30 minutes before, like really whatever you want, there's a much greater likelihood that they're going to take a look at whatever, this is important. Please make sure to have read this document before the call. And most people do, like 80, 85, 90% will do that just because you have it here. And if they don't like it, they can cancel it. Like, it's no big deal. You don't need to get calls. You need to get calls of people who are interested in your service. And those are 2 different things. Or not 2 different things, but not always the same thing. So this is the pre-call flow. It's a very important piece of the overall puzzle, and it's going to lower your no-show rate and increase your close rate, because they're going to be primed, they're going to be pre-framed, all of this stuff before the call, and they would not have been otherwise. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.